أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد سيد الأولين والآخرين مدد يا رسول الله مدد يا سادة أصحابه مدد يا مشايخنا ودستور قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الجفاء كل الجفاء والكفر والنفاق من سمع منادي الله تعالى ينادي بالصلاة وادعو إلى الفلاح فلا يجيبه. Peygamber buyuruyor ki uzak olan her şey uzaktır. Küfür ve nifak ise benim Allah'ın münadisidir. Küfür ve nifak ise kişinin Allah'ın münadisini farz namazına kurtuluşa davet ettiği, işitmesi ve davete icabet etmemesidir. Yani o Peygamberimiz bu ezanı duyup da namaz kılmayan onlar.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes of those who, when they hear the adhan, do not follow that call of prayer, but instead
hem dinden uzak hem küfre yakın nifak, münafık olarak şey yapılır.
But instead they ignore the call of prayer. And those who ignore the call of prayer and do not follow that call show the signs of disbelief and the signs of hypocrisy.
Allah Azze ve Celle namaza 5 vakit davet ettiriyor. Ona icabet etmeyen
Allah Almighty invites people to prayer 5 times a day.
Noksandır. Allah'tan uzaktır.
And those who do not accept this invitation, their faith is deficient, and they lack faith and are far away from Allah Almighty.
Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us from being in such a state.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حسب المؤمن من الشقاق والخيبة أن يسمع المؤذن يثوب بالصلاة فلا يجيبه. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki mümin kişiye ziyan ve ümidin boşa çıkması olarak müezzin es-salatu hayrun minen nevm çağrısına okuduğu işitip ona icabet etmemesi yeter.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that for a believer, the greatest loss and the greatest state when hopes have gone in vain is the moment when he hears the adhan and when he hears the muadhin recite as-salatu khairun minan nawm, but when he then does not follow that call, there is no greater loss and there is no greater state which is to be avoided.
Yani ezanı duyup da namaz kılmayan çok şey kaybetmiş olur.
Those who hear the adhan and do not perform their prayer lose a lot of things.
Onun ümitleri boşa çıkmış olur.
And those, they do not only lose a lot of things, but also their hopes will be for nothing.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحب البلاد إلى الله مساجدها وأبغض البلاد إلى الله أسواقها. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Allah'ın beldelerden en çok sevdiği yer.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said about the places which Allah Almighty loves the most in cities.
Onun mescidleridir. Yani
it's the places of worship. It's the masjids.
Bir şehirde, bir beldede, bir köyde falan en çok sevdiği yer onun Allah Azze ve Celle'nin camilerdir, mescitlerdir.
What Allah Almighty likes the most in places, whether it's in a city, in a village, or in any other place, it's the places of worship, it's the masjids, the mosques.
Allah'ın beldelerden, köylerden, şehirlerden en çok buğz ettiği yer ise
And what is it Allah Almighty detests and dislikes the most in cities, in villages?
Oranın çarşılarıdır.
It is the markets.
Şimdi daha beter alışveriş merkezleridir gibisinden yani.
And in today's time, it's not only the markets, it's the shopping malls.
Çünkü orada dünya için insan dünya için oraya dalar.
Because people go to those places, those shopping malls, in order to dive into worldly things,
Nefsini tatmin etsin diye.
in order to satisfy their egos.
Öteki türlü Allah yolunda camilerde olunca
However, when you are in the mosque for the sake of Allah Almighty,
Allah'ı hatırlar,
then you will remember Allah Almighty there.
bu şeyden uzak durur.
And then you will stay away from your ego and the places that make you forget Allah Almighty.
Çarşı, pazar, her türlü insan var.
Outside on the markets and the shopping malls, there are all kinds of people.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا مررتم برياض الجنة فارتعوا قيل وما رياض الجنة قال المساجد قيل ومرت قال سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki cennet bahçelerine uğradığınız zaman
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that when you visit the gardens of paradise,
oradan besleniniz diyor.
take nourishment from them.
Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyurdu. Sahabeler cennet bahçeleri nereleridir? Yani
Thereupon the Sahaba asked, where are the gardens of paradise?
cennete bilirler.
Because they were surprised that they thought paradise is in paradise, and where are the gardens of paradise, they asked.
Dünyada cennet bahçeleri nerede diye sordular Peygamber Efendimiz'e. Diye sorunca
And then they asked the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, where are those gardens of paradise in this world?
Hazreti Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyurdu mescitler.
And then thereupon our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, replied, it's the places of worship, masjid.
Burada dünyadaki cennet bahçeleri burasıdır.
They are the gardens of paradise in this world.
Mescitlerdir.
The masjids are the gardens of paradise.
Karşılığını verdi. Sahabiler beslenmek nedir?
And then the Sahaba asked, what is meant by take nourishment from the gardens of paradise?
Yani camide nasıl besleneceğiz diye sorunca
How to take nourishment in the masjid, the Sahaba asked.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Subhanallah, elhamdülillah ve la ilahe illallah ve allahu ekber. Bunlar beslenir.
And it is by saying Subhanallah wa alhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wa Allahu Akbar that you will nourish yourselves in the masjid.
İnsanın ruhaniyeti, bu ruhu beslenir.
To recite these praises upon Allah Almighty will nourish your soul in the masjid.
Ahirete rızık olur onlar size.
And to make these recitations will turn into provisions for you in the hereafter.
Buyurdu. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن بيوت الله تعالى في الأرض المساجد وإن حقا على الله أن يكرم من زاره فيها. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Allah'ın yeryüzündeki evleri mescitlerdir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that the houses of Allah Almighty in this world are the masjid.
Orada Allah ziyaret edenlere
Those who visit the houses of Allah Almighty, who go to the masjids,
Allah'ın ikramında bulunması üzerine bir haktır.
they will be presented with Allah Almighty's favors.
Yani Allah Azze ve Celle'nin eve ihtiyaç yok ama
Allah Almighty, of course, He does not need a house.
Burası onların insanlara ikram olsun diye yapılmış.
But the masjids are places which are dedicated as places where Allah Almighty presents His divine favors and where He hosts His believers.
Evlerdir, Allah'ın evidir bunlar mescitler.
Thus the masjids are the houses of Allah Almighty, where the believers are hosted by Allah Almighty.
Allah Azze ve Celle de ikram etmekte onun haktır.
And it is in those masjids, in the houses of Allah Almighty, where Allah Almighty will present His favors upon His guests.
Onun ikramı haktır. Ona ziyarete gelene muhakkak
and those favors and gifts are truthful, and those who come to visit Allah Almighty in the masjid, they will receive without any doubt of those gifts and presents.
İkram eder. Her türlü ikram olur inşallah.
And there will be all kinds of divine favors, gifts and presents that are then being presented and bestowed on the guests in the houses of Allah Almighty in the masjids.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تذهب الأرضون كلها يوم القيامة إلا المساجد فإنها ينضم بعضها إلى بعض. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki kıyamet gününde mescitler dışında bütün yeryüzü gidecektir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that on the day of judgment all places will turn into dust and will be destroyed except the places of worship, the masjids.
Ancak mescitler birbirine bitişecektir.
Allah Almighty will bring the masjids together.
Yani bütün bu dağ taş bina zaten hiçbir şey kalmaz.
On the day of judgment nothing will remain, neither mountains, nothing, no buildings.
Kalacak olan sırf mescitlerdir.
Only the masjids will remain.
Onlar da hepsini böyle bir yere toplar Allah Azze ve Celle.
And Allah Almighty will bring all the masjids all around the world together and collect them into a single place on the day of judgment.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير البقاع المساجد وشر البقاع الأسواق. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki yeryüzünden en hayırlı yerler mescitlerdir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that the most blessed and the most favorable places in this world are the masjids.
Yani bu neresi hayırlı derse mescitte bulunmak.
If you were to ask where should I be, what is a blessed place to be? It's the masjids.
En hayırlısıdır.
And to be in the masjid is to be in the most blessed places.
En kötü yerler de çarşılardır.
And the worst places are the markets.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says,
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رياض الجنة المساجد. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki yani cennet bahçeleri mescitlerdir.
And again, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reiterates that the masjids are the gardens of paradise.
Mescide girince insan o huzuru başka yerde bulamaz.
And when you enter the masjid, you will experience the inner peace, which you will not find anywhere else.
O Allah Azze ve Celle'nin evidir orası.
Because in the masjid, you are in the house of Allah Almighty.
İkramları
and it is in the house of Allah Almighty where He Almighty will host you and where He will present His gifts to you.
Çoktur.
And He Almighty has many gifts.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من بقعة يذكر اسم الله فيها إلا استبشرت بذكر الله تعالى إلى منتهاها من سبع الأرضين وإلا فخرت على ما حولها ما حولها من بقاع الأرض وإن المؤمن إذا أراد الصلاة من الأرض تزخرفت له الأرض. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki yeryüzünde üzerinde Allah'ın ismi zikredilen yer parçası 7 kat altına kadar mutlaka yüce Allah'ın zikri ile sevinir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes that when the praise of Allah Almighty is performed in one place, then that entire place up until the 7 skies is filled with the praise of Allah Almighty.
Bizim bu mescitler, dergahlar, nerede Allah zikredilirse o yeryüzü o 7 kat kadar Allah'a zikreder, hamd eder, sevinir.
Wherever Allah Almighty is praised, in the masjids, in the dargahs, then that place will be filled with Allah Almighty's praise, not only in that place in the earth, but up until the 7 heavens.
Ve etrafındaki yer parçalarına karşı övünür. Yani
and that place where the remembrance and the praise of Allah Almighty is performed, will be happy, and that very place will be proud, and that place will speak happily to its surroundings.
Etrafta zikrolunmayan yerler varsa onlara övünür ki bak benim üstümde Allah'ın zikri oluyor diye.
And then that place will say to its surroundings, look how happy I am and how proud I am that I'm a place where the remembrance and the praise of Allah Almighty is being performed.
Mümin kişi bir yerde namaz kılmak istediği zaman o yer onun için güzelleşir.
When a believer, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that when a believer intends to perform prayer in a place, then this place will become beautiful for the believer.
Orası da güzel olur. Nerede kılarsa kılsın muhakkak orası Allah'ın kudretiyle süslenir.
Wherever you perform your prayer through Allah Almighty's power, that place will turn beautiful and Allah Almighty will bless that place.
Güzel olur. Allah daim etsin.
May Allah Almighty make us to be steadfast.
İnsanlara da hidayet versin.
And may Allah Almighty guide people
Güzelliği görsünler.
so that they may see this beauty.
Sadaka Resulullah fîmâ kâle ev kemâ kâle. Ziyaden la şerefin Nebi sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem ve ashabi kiram ve ila arvah meşâihine fi tarikatin nakşibendiyeti aliyye khâsatan ila arvah imam tarika ve gâfil halika Hâce Bahâuddin Muhammed ve Yusuf Bukhari Seyyidina Abdülhâlik Hüzzuvani Mevlana Şeyh Şerefeddin Dağıstani Mevlana Şeyh Abdullah Faiz Dağıstani Mevlana Şeyh Muhammed Nazım Adil Hakkani ve sair sadatena ve saddîkîn ومن أهل حضرتهم وجوارهم حسين ومسافة ورفقاء حاج مصطفى تراب جملة من زين الشهداء وخصوص شهيد شهداء الله تعالى الفاتحة.